Hello and welcome to Carnivore Bites. This is Eric Lopkin. Jeff Sherman is on vacation this week, and we've had a busy week in the news, so let's get right to it. Paul Manafort was convicted on several counts, although not all of the counts that he was charged with, for tax fraud and tax evasion. It's important to note that none of the charges that he was accused of have anything to do with the Trump campaign. They were found by the Mueller investigation, however, they are unrelated. But also involved with the Mueller campaign, former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen pleaded guilty to campaign finance violations. Trump has said these violations do not rise to criminal activity. That remains to be seen. However, it is important to remember that as talk did turn towards impeachment if the Democrats win the House in the midterm elections, that campaign finance violations are not uncommon. Obama was fined $375,000 for campaign finance. Previous presidents have also been fined. Campaign finance is not generally considered something impeachment worthy, so we'll see where that goes. The markets did fantastic this week, especially the retail sector, with consumer confidence and consumer spending reaching highs not seen since the 1990s. And this helped propel the bull market to the longest bull market in history. Started with the Obama administration going through, but it has accelerated under the Trump administration. People are looking for signs of recession. A recession is expected, which would, of course, trigger a bear market. However, economists say that recession probably will not hit until at least 2020. In other news, Microsoft is under investigation for bribery and corruption regarding sales in Europe. The U.S. is investigating, as well as several European countries. Apparently, they have been dumping software in Hungary to resellers and then selling them back to governments in Europe. We'll see if anything comes of that. Also in the news, the Molly Tibbetts murder. This is the Iowa woman who was killed by an illegal immigrant. He has been arrested, and he did take authorities to the body. So there's very little doubt that he was at least involved in the killing. Security footage has him following Miss Tibbetts the night of the murder, and he did take authorities directly to where the body was buried. This case has spotlighted immigration policy. The Trump administration has made several comments about how we need to strengthen our immigration laws to keep things like this from happening. However, on CNN, Elizabeth Warren dismissed the issue, saying while she feels for the family and she knows it's difficult, it's more important to focus on putting together laws that will not separate illegal immigrants from their children. And she actually stated that the murder was not important. We'll see where those comments go and what effect that has on all of the debate. In tech news, Facebook security has been removed from the Apple App Store. Facebook had a VPN app that they said was there to protect your privacy when you connected to Facebook. However, what they did not tell people is that they were monitoring apps that you put on your phone, and they were monitoring everything you did through the VPN, which is a violation of Apple's terms and conditions. So they have been removed. It's the latest security problem to face Facebook, and it just goes to show that they're still not taking privacy seriously. Finally, Republican senators have made it easier for Trump to replace Jeff Sessions. There's now talk that he will be removed from the Justice Department after recusing himself from the Mueller investigation. There's been a lot of talk among Republicans and the Trump administration that Sessions has been absolutely useless in his position. We will see if they can manage the votes to make it easier and to allow Trump to get rid of him simply. Trump does have the authority to fire Sessions. He has held back on doing so primarily for political reasons. So that's the news this week. This has been Carnivore Bites. You've been listening to Carnivore Radio's podcast. You can catch us here every week. Carnivore Radio is part of the Xvadio podcast network. You can listen to the podcast at blogtalkradio.com/Xvadio. If you want to be part of the conversation, you can listen to us live every Friday at 4 o'clock on WESU 88.1 Middletown, Connecticut. You can also catch us online at WESUFM.org. We look forward to hearing from you and see you next week.